Right, we're working on this power of using your legs to generate force and power on your shot. So coming out of the seating position is a good drill to do this. Find a chair, sit down, and make it smooth stroke so the ball comes in low, and with your legs and arms, everything comes up at one motion together. Right, one motion at the same time. All right, so that was the drill we were working on, but we ended up kind of starting to look at a few other things here. I noticed in Gannon's shot, he has a habit of not cocking his hand back, and then I noticed in Will, he's got that guide hand coming into his shot a little bit. So we started working on that. We're going to see it here in a little bit. Pretty smooth Will coming up. Again, when you're working on this at home, just come right up out of your sitting position and try not to jerk at the top. It's just you generating power with your legs. So your legs are the one that's starting that. So feel that motion of your legs. All right, so there's the first time we see Will pretty clearly that his right hand, which is his guide hand, when he comes up here, it's going to get into the picture. So it's under the ball. He's moving it around a little bit, and I can tell he's shooting like that because he has that hand underneath the ball and he's helping push it with that guide hand. So we'll watch that. We'll watch it a little bit more. I think Gannon is going to spin it, and he's catching the ball flat-handed because he's got that wrist bent the opposite way, bent down instead of back on his shooting hand. And he's going to take another crack at it here. I could clearly see that was going on with him. And what happens is if you catch the ball that way and it's not cock position, it takes a little bit longer to get the shot off, and you end up having to play around with the ball while you're in motion trying to get the shot off, and it's less accurate. A little bit better there, but still needs some work there. So Gannon will continue to work on that. It's something we've been working on for the last couple of weeks. Now here we watch this guide hand, and right hand, and that thumb is pushing off, right? Using that thumb. Made a shot, and it's a little bit easier to get away with it at these closer ranges. You start getting further out, and that guide hand thumb ends up interfering more with the ball, and you get less of a good spin on it too, right? So I really want to work on that guide hand look there. Pretty smooth coming out of the sitting position here, though. I can tell it's going to get in there because that thumb's right underneath the ball, instead of a guide hand being on the side of it. So remember that drill, Will, where you just hold your guide hand there and it stays straight up and down, that we worked on. So when you're at home practicing, those are the things for you to master. The little pieces, and these little details are so important. So important. So we worked on this other drill here. Once we got away from the seats where we slammed the ball between our legs, we hopped to that seating position. And what's happening here is both Gannon and Will were doing this. When you pound it between your legs, you need to come back down to that sitting position. And you're too high here, and it's hard to generate the power. I want to remind you, Will, to just be aware of your lower body position. I used to do this a lot in high school where that shooting foot was off to the side, and what ends up happening is you lose power there. So you don't have to be completely squared up. Be comfortable, but don't overdo it here. Watch this. Left foot of yours is going to come over, and your power's being directed off to your right-hand side, and that will affect your shot too. So, and then what happens is less power there. You're not in the sitting position well, and then that thumb on the guide hand gets into the picture. So you got all these sort of cascading things start to happen to your shot, and it's hard to correct later on. So we're just going to try to correct all these things so we have a shot that is identical every single time. It's repeatable every single time, and you build some strength in your legs, and now your shot's scalable throughout a game. You can always shoot consistent. Here we're going to look at this guide hand. It's all the way over, and now we're shooting about the three-point line. This is a drill we moved you out. We're trying to get those legs going, and it's even more pronounced now with that shooting hand. So it's actually your guide hand's crossing over onto your shooting hand because they're both kind of coming to converge